Hello everyone, and welcome to my GH Soap Gossip Today update channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Carly's back-breaking problem with Drew assaults Michael after dispelling any confusion? General Clinic spoilers propose that coaxed Kane has changed colossally since he's been out of jail. His eruptions and negative demeanor have Carly Spencer concerned, yet Sam McCall also. Drew and Carly as of late gone up against Michael Corinthos on his job in aiding Nina Reeves conceal her SEC mystery. Michael made sense of he was coercing her, and he accepted he could cause more great than damage by restricting Nina's admittance to his loved ones. Furthermore, he contemplated that his dad Sonny Corinthos was so cheerful. He would have rather not put a damper on the high wave his father was riding. When Michael accounted for himself, Carly mellowed. Nonetheless, Drew went out of control. Drew was furious at the way that Michael put his dad before him. All things considered, Michael and Drew aren't just companions and colleagues, however they also are family. Drew stomped off, permitting Carly to converse with her child one-on-one, however Michael attracted still need to dispel any confusion. Sometime later, Drew got together with Carly at Charlie's and clarified that the greater part of his indignation lies more with Nina, yet he actually needs to sit down to talk with Michael. Might things at some point get monstrous when the two ultimately go head-to-head, without Carly around? Attracted will begin to progressively get baffled with his better half. All things considered, he needs retribution on Nina, while she simply needs harmony. Attracted has promised to seek retribution on Nina, notwithstanding Carly's reservations, and when he does, the two could conflict about it. In the event that Darlie closes things negatively, and Michael enters Drew's circle soon after the reality, he might take it out on him. Assuming the subject of retribution on Nina comes up, Attracted could motivation to Michael that Carly doesn't need vengeance since she didn't experience a similar encounter he had after the insider exchanging Energizes Blue. All things considered, Drew blamed everything on himself to safeguard Carly and took that jail time, which brought about an assault that nearly cost him his life. Also the time he lost with his main living youngster, Scout Kane. In the meantime, Carly might have lost a minimal expenditure, however she likewise was gifted Kelly's/Bobby's. Attracted May motivation to Michael that obviously, Carly doesn't need vengeance, and how could she? She didn't experience half however much he did. This repressed animosity Drew has for Carly's reluctance to assist him with seeking retribution on Nina could mean Michael winds up following through on the cost. Drew and Michael could get into it, and assuming Michael shields his activities and his mother's, Drew might become annoyed. Might he at some point punch Michael? Might he at any point go after him? This move may be the last thing that could possibly be tolerated where Drew and Carly are concerned. General Clinic spoilers hint that Darlie's days are numbered, and going after Michael could be the activity that blows this sentiment out to bits. Will Nicholas rethink leaving Port Charles without Ava? General Clinic spoilers spill Ava Jerome is plainly still as an affection with Nicholas Cassadine as she at any point was, yet her pride simply won't move to one side and let her fall for the person. Not this time. Not indiscriminately. Not at any point down the road? We don't think so. Nicholas was enthused about making things right with Ava, yet we never at any point got to perceive how that discussion would have worked out before Ava suddenly shut it down, making obviously things between them were finished, in spite of the reasonable flash copying down around them. Ava was mournful when she expressed farewell to Nicholas, a second she didn't think would occur unexpectedly early. Might it at any point have worked? Is this actually the finish? All things considered, separating is such sweet distress. Ava was just somewhat unfortunate when Nicholas showed up in the stockroom with his hand over her mouth. She felt free to assuming he was there to compensate her for almost killing him. Unexpectedly, the harsh outside liquefied away and Nicholas experienced no difficulty sharing how sorry he was for harming her and demolishing their marriage. Off his tongue moved words Ava never expected to hear, and she might not have been prepared for how they affected her. However, his statement of regret was short of what was needed, she said. At the point when Nicholas articulated the word farewell, it plainly moved Ava to tears. A little while of fighting with him and verging on reviving something was sufficient to reignite something within her, and she'll before long wind up wishing she hadn't let him go. Nicholas fled with expert Cassadine as fast as possible, yet that doesn't mean he's out of Port Charles. On the off chance that he can figure out how to remain hush, he could actually attempt to see Ava once more and persuade her to get Avery Corinthos and escape with him and his child kid. Ava is alright with her life in Port Charles, and she doesn't figure she can get away from Sonny Corinthos, all things considered. They've had to deal with this previously. All things considered, expressing farewell to Nicholas briefly time will not be simple. He might not have been willing to keep close by for his children and pay for his wrongdoings, however might Ava at any point persuade him in an unexpected way? Could his readiness to make amends for his transgressions and take care of keeping Esme ruler prisoner equivalent revenge in Ava's eyes? Nicholas has never been the sort of man who might place anybody above himself, yet in the event that he were to, we could see it being a lady over his youngster. Carly's definitive retribution on Nina. Carly truly surprised us all when she let Michael know that she didn't need retribution. General Clinic spoilers bother that horrible Bobby has made Carly understand things according to with an improved point of view. Losing a profoundly cherished one can do that occasionally. Be that as it may, will this shift in perspective truly stick? Since the Carly we have known and adored such an extremely long time would simply tear Nina's throat for disturbing her life the manner in which she did with the SEC break. Truly, this moment, Carly's position seems okay, taking into account the idea of her misfortune. General Medical Clinic spoilers rewind us to once upon a time when Carly previously showed up in Port Charles. She really came hoping to look for vengeance on Bobby. In any case, look where they are currently. She is grieving her now adored and esteemed mother. Their excursion to finding affection and warmth for one another has been amazing. Indeed, it's a good idea that Carly would rather not consider retribution right now. Also, however much she might want to paint Nina as the lowlife here, General Emergency Clinic spoilers uncover that Carly most likely was at real fault for skimming. Thus, Nina did really report a genuine wrongdoing. That being said, Carly and everybody around her won't quit considering Nina to be the rotten one here. Yet, this moment, Carly's position of needing to allow Nina's demonstrations to slide won't go excessively well with Drew. He needs retribution. What's more, his conduct issues post his jail spell will just make things worse. If Attracted keeps on pushing Carly excessively hard, she might snap. General Clinic spoilers uncover that Drew and Carly have a few troublesome minutes ahead. This might just be a clue towards a looming separation. As a matter of fact, regardless of whether they separate, just hit terrible waters. She might in any case effectively track down her direction into Sonny's arms following a tipsy evening. Plus, we are late for another Sonny-Carly remarriage. At the end of the day, at this point, it truly is a yearly undertaking, correct? Assuming that occurs, Carly won't actually need to look for retribution from Nina effectively. What might be more awful for her than to lose her significant other to her enemy, isn't that so? Goodness better believe it, there is another thing that would make the blade in her heart contort. Willow is favoring Carly on this. All Nina would be left with is Valentine. That, as well, in the event that Anna doesn't excuse him by then. What is your take? Might distress at some point turn into the premise of Sonny and Carly's next remarriage? Let us know in the remarks. In the meantime, remain